Hi guys, I'm McBubbles, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to get rich in Rocket League. Basically, we're going to be looking at the recent market trends and what it basically means. So basically what I mean by this is looking at White Octane, White Fennec and White Dominus and why they rose, will they keep on rising, why will they drop, etc. Next, then we're probably going to move on to Rcs Drops, because they have also been rising recently, and basically whether you should invest in them or whether you should hold back and see what happens. Then we're going to move on to what items to avoid. What items should you basically never really invest in unless you get like an insane deal. And then we're going to have a little talk about kind of non-crate items and how to make a lot of money by just buying them at cheap. Literally just how to make an insane amount of money. So make sure you watch the video, make sure you watch all of the video, because you don't want to miss any little tips or tricks I include. And yeah, let's get right into the video. But just before this video starts, guys, do not forget to enter my 1000 subscribers giveaway. It is the preset, as you can see on the screen, some really nice titanium white zombies and an interstellar. All you need to do to enter is subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment your username for whatever platform down below to have a chance to win. And also, even though there is a giveaway going on, please do subscribe. It really does help a lot, as I am trying to get to that 1k mark. But anyway, let's talk about how to get rich in Rocket League.
Okay, so I am here on RL Insider, which is a really good place to get all of your items, or get price for your items. And just to kick it off, we're going to have a look at the White Fennec. So as you can see, like 2 weeks ago, it kind of was very stable, wasn't really moving too much, although it had risen. And then it really starts to pick off with like a few kind of like stops on the way, but it is continuously rising. Now, if we look at the 3 months one, you will kind of notice that Fennec goes up and down, up and down, up and down. But the reason why it kind of rose like 3 months ago was because when it rose up, it didn't drop as much. So when it increased, it didn't like drop as much as it increased. So it was slowly building, and then as it starts to rise, it stops dropping. It just completely rises on its own. Now this is a combination of demand increasing for it and a combination of people, when they see it, they're just kind of like, ooh, easy money. But as I'm showing here, you kind of have a increase just for the blueprint update. This is when people are really interested in the item, then it suddenly drops. That's because blueprints lowered the price a lot. Let me just quickly go back up. Now, if we move on to Titanium White Octane, Titanium White Octane has recently dropped. As you can see, it was a lot more stable than White Fennec. Now, I kind of feel like White Octane has dropped purely because like people are a bit nervous of it. People aren't buying it because if we look, was it 3 months ago? It was very stable, increased a little bit. People are like, oh yeah, I want to buy this. It's increased a bit. Increases again because people are like, oh, really interested. And then it does a big jump. Kind of. Then people are like, oh yeah, I really want to buy it now. People are buying it for a lot more because it's rising so quickly. Then just another big jump, and then it kind of stables out for quite a while. So people are buying it a bit less, but then it increases again and again. I kind of feel as though it dropped because it rose too much for what the item is. Even though it is like one of the most sought after items in the game, it still isn't worth as much as that because it just isn't rare enough. And so I think it's going to drop probably back down to what it was like about 3 months ago. And maybe rise a little bit again, and this is where you can make quite a bit of money. When an item drops, it tends to drop a little bit lower than what than what the item is worth. So it tends to have that little rebound just after it's dropped. It goes up like an extra K or so, and you can make a nice bit of money. But this is a bit riskier because you have to take the risk that it might stop dropping for like a little bit and then drop again, and then it will rise up. But you've already kind of lost a bit of your money. So yeah. Doing that is a bit of a risk, so if for newer traders, I wouldn't do it. For more experienced ones, I'd say it's a risk worth taking if you're able to kind of highlight if you feel confident, you know it's going to stop dropping. I think it is dropping because of price manipulators, I'd say. And talking about price manipulators, we're now onto the white dominus, and this has been manipulated up to 47 to 52k. It's now on PS4. Also, these are all PS4 prices, but the increase in prices is across like all platforms, though. The individual prices are a little bit different. So as you can see, when it was released, it was fairly expensive because it is a sought after item, and then people were like, I'm going to pay a little bit more, pay a little bit more, pay a little bit more, and it just keeps on rising because people are like, oh, Dominus is rising, I'm going to buy this, and then I'm going to sell it for higher, and it just keeps on happening, just keeps on rotating the same thing. Basically, what happened to White Fennec, except Dominus just kind of went mental and just kept on rising, and at the moment it isn't dropping. So as you can see here, like it kind of just keeps on rising. It doesn't really have too many breaks. Although I am on the all time, so it doesn't really show that too well. But then we can see there is a bit of a break. This is when it's kind of slowing down. Less people are being able to afford it. Like the people who are able to sell it on at 8k, a lot more people can do that. Whereas at 50k, although a lot of people will have made a lot of money from it, like most people now can't do it, and so it's just slowing down increase. And I think it's going to be drop because if we look at all the other dominances, dropped, and dropped. Now Cobalt is actually a little bit different. This is because, as you can see here, it had a massive drop. This is when it got released in the item shop, and so it's only got its way back to what it was before, so it's lagging a little bit behind. But if we look at the Sky Blue Dominance, which also dropped, during that period a lot of them rose up and they're kind of dropping to what they were before, basically where Cobalt Octane is now. And so Cobalt Octane is a little bit different, but I think it will also drop though. It will drop in the meantime. You've got Saffron dropping, Forest dropping, Missed Out Lime, which has also dropped, Orange has dropped, and so has Purple. This is why Trident Dominus is going to drop soon. Now, this is less because of like changes in demand, but more because of people now being really worried about Titanium Dominus because it has dropped so much. And so people are going to be worried that theirs is going to drop, so they're going to be more willing to sell it at a lower price. This then means that more people will be buying it for that lower price. And so when RN Insider sees this, they're going to lower the price as people aren't selling it at that 52k mark. They're more selling it at, 44k if people are really desperate. We're more like 47 or 50k in that kind of price gap, which means that the Trident Dominus will drop and then people will start panicking. And it's then just going to drop more, and it's going to drop more, and then drop more, until nobody is willing to buy it because they don't know when it's going to stop dropping. That is when an item tends to stable out after it is dropped and kind of stays like that for a while. I mean, Titanium Dominus did get price manipulated, which is why it was so much. But anyway, we're going to move on to RLCS items now. I'm going to kick it off with Apexes. Now, as you can see with a lot of the items I'm showing, although Grey Apex is a little bit different, they're all increasing. Like they've all gone up like 1 bar, which is quite a bit because they are quite expensive. Although Saffron hasn't, neither has Lime. Lime's kind of been a little bit kind of stayed the same. It's gone up, gone back down. But Apex are kind of rising, you know. This is because they had a massive drop a while ago, as I will show you fairly soon. They had a massive drop where white, well, I shouldn't really say white, all Apexes, so I'll probably just end up using white as an example, but yeah, as you can see, they're all rising. They all dropped due to cross-platform. And so, yeah, they've been rising for 3 months, then you got this all-time graph. Just before Blueprint Update gets out, everything increases, it skyrockets, and then kind of evens out a little bit, kind of slowly rising, and then you've got cross-platform, and everything drops. As a little bounce back, because more and more people are buying it, and then people are like, 80k, I don't think so, and it drops further. Now cross-platform has kind of happened, the market has been, I guess, equaled out in a way. People really know what's happening, there's less uncertainty, and so Apexes are back in demand. People are more willing to buy them, and so they're going up, and all of the colours are going up. I do think they will drop because I feel like they're rising a little bit too quickly. And so I kind of feel like they'll probably dip down to what they were like a while ago. I don't think this kind of growth is too stable, as I do think it will drop fairly soon. And if we do look at titanium helios, this is kind of what I'm suggesting, except over a longer period of time. They'll rise up and then kind of go back down. That being said, I do think helios are a fairly safe investment for traders. They're a highly sought after boost for people who like RCS boosts. Not that there are actually too many. But they are rising quite gradually. A YouTuber, Desan's a good friend of mine, we were talking and we were both thinking helios are going up. And I'd say they're a safer investment for a lot of people because they're just not worth as much. I myself, I might be buying a crimson one fairly soon. I've also got 2 black, grey and a purple. They dropped a while ago due to being reintroduced into RCS. As you saw there, it says the retirement date. That isn't entirely true, but they got retired at that date, but then they got reintroduced last year, kind of at the end of last year. They added a bunch of old ones, which caused them to drop. And now they're going back up, even though I think they are still in the things. But if you look at a lot of these colours, they're all kind of rising up. And what is really nice about this, they are doing multiple jumps. They are not just jumping once, they're jumping multiple times, which is like good growth. So if we now go back off helios, and we look at some emeralds. Emeralds are all dropping right now, as you can see. Every single colour, all dropping. This is because they got price manipulated. It's less so due to their demand going up. I think their demand increased, which caused like the first increase, and then they just got price manipulated. Price manipulation is when someone has a white emerald and they ask for 50k. Now you might be thinking that they're just not going to get an offer. It doesn't really do too much. But the big thing is when okay, so now I'm going to be talking about non-crate items. Okay, so non-crate items, as you can see here, are all the prices. Now, nobody really tends to buy non-crate rares for what they are. Like, you can't really get anything good by trading them up apart from NCVR. Like, there are no good NCVRs that are worth more than the other stuff. And so 10 credits each is kind of like a poor price. It's much more kind of like 5 for 10, honestly. Oh, no. Yeah, 2 for 10 maybe. But anyway, we're going to be focusing on non-crate imports and non-crate exotics. Now, as you can see, the minimum price for non-crate imports is 40. If we do a bit of math, so 5 times 40 to trade it up equals that 200, which is the minimum of non-crate exotics. And when you trade up non-crate imports, you get non-crate exotics, and you can sometimes get very good non-crate exotics, like black dices, for example. A lot of money to be made. So, what I'm basically suggesting a lot of you do, try and buy non-crate imports as cheap as possible. Buy them for 40 or 30 credits. Trade them up. Take that little gamble, see if you can get something good. And even if you don't get something good, you can sell it for the max price of non-crate exotics for 250. I did this yesterday for about half an hour, and I made 150 credits profit by just doing it on the side. I managed to get 15 NCIs, traded them up, didn't get anything, got like Draco, Voltiac and one other wheel. And then I managed to sell them all for 750 credits total, which is 250 credits each, which is a nice amount of profit for just barely doing anything. And not really, and the good thing about this is, it is, your money is very safe. These non-crate imports and non-crate exotics are very unvolatile, or involatile. They will not drop and they will not rise. So a lot of people tended to when like a lot of stuff was increasing in price, A lot of people like traded like credits or keys into these kind of items just because they're more stable than other stuff. But now I'm going to move on to hard to sell items, kind of items to avoid. Okay, so if we have a look at okay, so the main things to kind of so as you can see here, we're looking at painted black markets. These are kind of the items that you want to be avoiding as much as possible. I would say maybe you can look at, like, say the main ones you can probably buy are mainframe and interstellar. As you can see here, I'm kind of highlighting slipstreams. These ones have no price, and so they're kind of hard to gauge whether you've got a good price for them or not. You can get price checks on a really good subreddit called rlcs, which will give you a rough guidance. Just so you know, but on the whole, I'll probably avoid slipstream. I'd say the only ones you really want to be doing, as I said before, interstellar and mainframe. And you want to be targeting white and black, really. White mainly for interstellar, because that's quite easy to sell. And then white and black for mainframe. They're also rising, so, probably worth your money. Then you can buy other colours of interstellar and other colours of mainframe, but you have to be. I would definitely go like quite a bit under minimum because you will struggle to sell them. I think they're definitely a good way to make profit, as there are like every now and again like someone may be buying saffron, interstellar, and then you are able to sell these on eventually. It will just take a little bit of time. But I think if you are offered them as like an item offer for your easy to sell item, I'll probably never take unless they are overpaying by quite a bit. Okay, so and then other stuff, painted gold explosions, pretty much the same thing. Only really buy white or black because those are the only real ones that are demanded. I would say like some of the more expensive ones, like some of the new ones, like Reaper and Vampire Bats, and all of the other new ones like Sub-Zero, Hellfire, etc. Those are really demanded at the moment by collectors. You manage to get your hands on them for a good price, you're going to make a lot of money because people are more willing. As you can see, a lot of these don't even have prices yet. Again, check out our exchange to get a price check. You should be able to get like a fairly good price. You should be able to get a good price check, and then if you're able to get them for like a fairly good price, you should be able to sell them on quite easily because a lot of people are interested. Although again, focus on white and black as those are the colours that will make your money. And avoid RP1 because those are quite hard to sell. Rocket Pass items tend to be quite hard to sell, so I'd never really use Iron Insider for Rocket Pass items just because they tend to be a little bit inconsistent. Like it's not really too correct. Like 100 credits for a lot of RP items is just not correct. But again, focus on white or black as your main colours, otherwise you're not really going to be making too much money as they're just not demanded. Okay, and so for bodies, I'd say only really focus on Octane, Dominus, and Fennec. I mean, obviously Dominus bodies are dropping at the moment, so be a bit wary with them. So I probably wouldn't invest in them at the moment, but in the future, once they probably stop dropping, those are the only ones I'd really go for. And I'd say for painted wheels, only really go for Draco, Zomba, and Direwolves. Those are the only ones you can really sell.
So guys, this is going to be the end of today's video. I really do hope this has helped you guys out and hopefully will help you make some money in Rocket League and understand the market a bit more to know which items you want to avoid, which items you want to invest in. As I said before, don't forget to enter my 1000 subscribers giveaway to win the Interstellar and White Zombas. All you need to do, as I said before, is subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment your username for whatever platform down below. And I'll see you in the next video.